Morning folks. Skills video, you need to get onto that. Make sure you try and volley it back over the top of the camera so we can get that video sorted. But before then, we're going to do the toilet roll fitness challenge. Do it 3 times a week and you'll maintain your fitness over a period of time. You can of course extend it or adapt it however you suit. I'm going to give you 10 simple exercises that essentially work most of the body in terms of what you require for your football fitness over this period of isolation. Now, it's important that when we're doing any of these exercises that we try and make sure we're nice and warm first, and the easiest way to warm up your body is just a jog around the garden. Okay, make sure that lasts for 2 or 3 minutes. Your heart rate will jump up a little bit, the blood will go to the working muscles, and the muscles will also warm up. Even though it's a sunny time nowadays, your muscles are still cold and you don't want to strain them, otherwise it'll just prevent you training over time. In most of the exercises we try and do 3 sets, which is 3 groups of 10 repetitions. Alright, so you total 30 repetitions or 30 attempts on each exercise. If you find it too hard and you only get to 26, 27, that's okay. If you do that same level again next day, you'll probably find that your muscles slowly but surely grow a little bit stronger. I'll put in some adaptations on each of the exercises as well to make it easier for you if you struggle with the physical demands of each exercise as you go along. Alright, so the first thing we're going to use this for is a little bit of a measuring device. All you need is a step. Any higher than the toilet roll is absolutely fine, and we're going to work the body from the lower half all the way up. Okay, so we'll start down the bottom. First muscle is your calf muscle. Okay, gastrocnemius is the real name, ready for GCSE PE in a couple of years. Okay, so you just stand somewhere where you can get a little bit of balance. If you can do it without holding on to something at the side, even better. Just come round and have a look down at the bottom part, and what you're trying to do is drop the heels down as far as you possibly can, okay, to really stretch out that muscle. And then as you go up on your tiptoes, okay, that muscle contracts, and you want to try and do it nice and slowly, okay, especially on the downstroke. Try and do it nice and slowly, and by all means push up nice and quickly, okay, until you get that stretch in those calves. And you will find that over a period of time, 3 sets of 10, so do 10, have a little break, do 10 more, and you'll find that you start to get that burn in those calf muscles. Okay, so this exercise is for quads, and it's for gluteus maximus, okay, and it's for the hamstrings, and you're just going to use the toilet roll as a target. So what you're going to do is drop your knee onto the toilet roll each time without crushing the toilet roll. Okay, so you're just going to lunge and step. You can use your arms for balance, lunge, drop your knee onto it each time, and you're going for 10 on each side on this one, so that will total 20 in each set. If you wanted to make it a little bit harder for yourself, what you could do is jump in between switching over the legs. So you would go from here to jump to here to jump to here. Okay, that would make it a little bit harder for you. Okay, this time the toilet roll has been used to balance. Okay, arms out in front. You need your feet in a straight line, so your heels in a straight line, okay, with your toes. That's it. And you're just going to squat down, keeping your head up and nice and still. The toilet roll helps you to stay as still as possible. If you can keep your heels on the ground, okay, get your balance back again. This is good for the core. Heels on the ground, go as low as you can, and stand back up, keeping your chin up. Again, 3 sets of 10, holding that balance nice and still. An alternative to the squats, if you find those quite difficult or you just want to change, is again keeping your head perfectly still, which helps you control the muscles here in your core, is to find a little raised part. It could be a chair in the garden or a bench, or it could be something. Okay, again, with the squats that you've just done with the toilet roll on the head, if you want to make them more powerful and you want to produce an increased jumping height or an increased ability to set off on a run quickly, then take the toilet roll off, forget about the balance, and go for a jump in between each squat. The higher the better, and the straighter you can keep your body, the better as well. Alright, so this is more about speed, agility and quickness. Okay, you use the toilet roll. You find 2 items in the garden. I've got the swing ball set, and I've got the mat as we go back into the house. I'm going to use the mat to drop the toilet roll on, and then I'm going to run and pick it up and replace it and keep going around the outside of this. This could be anything, it could even be your little sister or your little brother. Okay, so what you're trying to do here is stay nice and low to the ground. Okay, you place on, and then you can change what you do here. So you could start off with crossovers and crossovers back, pick up the toilet roll. The important bit of the toilet roll is you're constantly bending down and you're using the muscles around your core again. Okay, you go round with the toilet roll, with the crossovers, and you put it back, and then you go round and so on. Now you can adapt that in any way that you want to, and all the way through the season when we've been warming up, we've been trying different movements with our body here. Okay, so for instance, instead of crossing the legs over, you could click the feet together and have quick feet to move side by side. You could also run forwards and run backwards before you place it. You could also put another marker here, and then you could do it in triangles. So you could run across, place, run, get back to the triangle here, then get back across to do it, and you're changing the position and the angle of what you're trying to do there. If you do it nice and quickly, and for these you want to be doing it for about 30 seconds, your body will be able to provide energy to your muscles without much breathing for about 30 seconds, and then you'll start to feel that lactic acid built in. You'll start to breathe really heavily, and as a result you won't be able to maintain it for much longer than 30 seconds if, and this is important, you do it at 100% speed. It's got to be at 100%, okay? Not at 95, got to be flat out if it's going to make any difference. Okay, so this exercise, again, you're using the toilet roll. It's only about 6 inches high, but your maximum jumping height is about 11 or 12 inches at your age. So you're just going to use that as an obstacle to get over. Okay, there's 2 ways of doing these little bunny hops over the top. The first one is just quick hops, and with this one, again, you're trying to do it for 30 seconds, but I want you to do it 3 times. Okay, so for 30 seconds, you do this. Okay, and the next version, which is much harder, which you might decide to do after 3 or 4 sessions, is you do a full bunny hop. So your feet still close together, okay? And what you're trying to do is touch the grass, keeping your chin up each time, and then you bunny hop over. Now you need to do this really slowly to start with, okay? So let's have a look. We're trying to keep our balance as well. Again, concentrating on those muscles around your belly button, trying to keep a nice a controlled position as you go over. Okay, much more difficult and gets you a real stretch in those quadriceps. You might only be able to maintain that for perhaps 20 seconds, but try and do 3 sets. Okay, of course you could mix up these activities, so don't use the same muscle group one after the other. You can change from activity to activity to give those muscles a bit of a breather. Okay, so this one is the toilet roll star run. Dead straightforward. You've got your toilet roll in the middle. You have to keep returning to that, and we've got 4 objects placed in a square around the outside. Okay, so we've got football 1, football 2 over there, the yellow one, football 3 at the back by the barbecue, and football 4, this foam one, down the front. Now to start with, you can just go 1, 2, 3, 4 as fast as you can, coming back to touch the toilet roll each time. Now it's important that you make the contact with your fingers on the ball and on the toilet roll. Go! Okay, all right, dead straightforward. And then what you can do is if somebody's there with you, you can number those balls 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you can test their reaction time as well. So you can get somebody out there with you and just seeing if you can respond and move quickly. 3, 2, that was 1, 4, 3. Okay, and you can see there's a change of direction there for somebody helping out. And of course you can adapt that. You can just run backwards to all of them, you can run forwards to all of them. Depends how much you want to push yourselves. If you really wanted to push yourself, you could do a press up or a sit up at each ball and then get up and back to touch the toilet roll. All right, press ups on the toilet roll. Okay, so our nose has got to touch the toilet roll. Make sure nobody's used it before. All right, now we're trying to keep our hands shoulder width apart, but you can mess around with that. You can bring them a bit narrower and you can take them a bit wider. The important part is that you keep your body straight, okay, from shoulders to your ankles, your body remains straight. And what you're trying to do here is go down nice and slowly, okay, to get the nose in the hole of the toilet roll and push back up nice and straight forward. Now this is working the backs of your upper arms, okay, the triceps, and it's also working the muscles across your chest. And again, you're going to try and do 10, okay. All right, into that position before you have your breather. If you want to make it a bit easier, just have a look down at the knees, Henry. If you want to make it a bit easier, just drop your knees from that position. Now that doesn't mean to kneel like this, because that's ridiculous, but you just drop your knees onto the floor in that position. It just makes it a little bit easier to control the movement. If you want to make it a bit harder, then all you need to do is put your feet on something in the garden, like a chair or a garden bench, and do it as an inverted press up. That'll make it much tougher. Okay. So this one's your sit-ups, okay? First one's dead straight forward. All right, you just hold the toilet roll on top of your head and don't move it from the top of your head. Try and keep your elbows pointing forwards, okay? And you're just going to sit up and touch your knees with your elbows. All right, now it's important on here not to throw your elbows, but to concentrate on those muscles around your belly button, your abdominals, squeezing together to lift the shoulders off the ground, and try and roll your back into the ground. Okay, the next development of this is to do the same thing, but twist at the top and touch both knees with both elbows. Okay, so you'll see what I mean here. Off we go. So we sit up and we twist, and then we twist and we go back down. We sit up, we twist, and then we twist and go back down. Okay, so now we're on tricep dips, again using the backs of the arms, also the core a little bit, and also the shoulders are working as you press down, and the muscles at the back of your latissimus dorsi. So what you're going to try and do is use the toilet roll as your target, but you're going to touch it with your bum, okay? Hands on the edge of the bench, legs nice and straight, okay? And you're going to sit down until you feel that toilet roll, okay? And then you're going to push up. Sit down until you feel the toilet roll, push up. Sit down, feel the toilet roll, push up. And of course you can do them a little bit quicker if you want. Again, we're going for 3 sets of 10. If you want to make it a little bit easier, just bring your feet a bit closer to the toilet roll, and then you can get into that position a little bit easier, and you can use your legs to a certain extent to help push you back up. Okay, so this last one is the toilet roll plank. All right, we get into a plank position. Okay, so elbows on the ground. All right, we need a bum sticking down, okay, nice and flat, and up on our toes. Okay, keep that back straight, so push that spine up towards the sky without sticking your bum out. Okay, that's better, head up. All right, so on this one, what you're going to try and do is hold the plank, all right, in that position. That's fairly straightforward, and you're trying to hold it for 30 seconds, concentrating those muscles, contracting those muscles. And then if you want to advance it, what you're going to do is this. You're going to lift the toilet roll up with one hand, and you're going to rotate, keeping your hips off the floor, and then the other side, okay, rotate the other way, look to the sky with the toilet roll as you do it, and you can see the body's just gone from a little bit being straight. Keep the body nice and straight out to the feet, and we rotate. Okay, 30 seconds of that is enough for anybody. Of course, the more frequently you do it, the longer you'll be able to maintain that plank position. You can also advance that even further by taking one foot off, the opposite foot to the hand you lift the toilet roll with, and that will make it even more pressured on your core muscles and your lower back muscles, trying to hold that position. All right, so if you do that circuit 3 times a week, all right, circuit should take you about half an hour to 45 minutes if you do it properly. 3 sets of 10 for each thing. And then in those days where you don't do the circuit, make sure you either go for a bike ride, 30 minutes, trying to get your heart rate. If you've got a pulse monitor, fantastic. If not, just take it here and count how many beats in 30 seconds and then double it. You'll feel the pulse in the carotid artery here. You're trying to get up to about 140, 150 beats a minute when you go for a run or a bike ride, which means relatively intense work. All right, half an hour of that twice a week on top of those 3 circuits. Give that 5 or 6 weeks and you will be fighting fit, ready for the new season as soon as we can get back together and get those balls in play. All right, see you later, boys. Enjoy.